This is a very quick overview of how to use the AI social media content generator, how to set it up for yourselves, and then we'll discuss what next steps you can possibly take based off this SART or this foundational workflow. So, what does the AI social media content generator actually do? What it does is that on a predetermined schedule at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. every day, Monday to Friday, it will generate certain social media content for very particular platforms, X or Twitter and LinkedIn. So that's essentially what it does at base. How does it go about it? Let's dive under the hood, or rather, let's actually set up the credentials that you might need. So the credentials you need here are essentially the OpenAI API, where you essentially just need the API key. So in order to get to your API key, you need to search OpenAI API, register, and log, and sign up. And once you're done, you're going to arrive to a screen that looks like this. On the top right, you hit the gear. That's the settings button. You go to API keys. Then you create a new secret key. You name it the name of the workflow. From there, you then copy and paste that API key, which is basically going to be something like this, and you paste it into the API key section here and so on and so forth. You save it, and that's how you can use it across all of your different open AI steps in your workspace in ANET. Now, beyond that, we have X. Now, in order to get credentials here, we essentially just have to get the client ID and the client secret for this is an OAuth API. It's very, very simple to do. You just look it up on X and you go into the settings. Every single platform is always going to have an API key in the settings in some capacity. And you just, essentially get it from there. Now you do the same thing with LinkedIn. For LinkedIn, you add new credentials to log in, client ID, client secret. And essentially you just move forward with OAuth 2.0 there as well. Now what we do here, how does it work under the hood is the question. So this first trigger is what's called a cron job. Don't worry about what cron actually means, but basically we have here the hour of the day and we want this to run at 9 a.m. at 1 p.m. because we're on 24-hour, not 12-hour formatting. And then at 17, which is 5 p.m. And this happens every day. So every day it's going to post content. Now, what is it going to post? In this OpenAI step, we give it instructions to generate 3 engaging social media posts for a T2B software company. You would essentially replace this for whatever type of company that you want. You give it hashtags and call to actions, you give it a tone, and then you give it topics to come up with. And then it returns an array of that, essentially, of the content that you want to produce. From there, we split out the return JSON from the AI into its separate fields, so then you can essentially post each one onto each other. Right now is Twitter and LinkedIn and so on and so forth. Now, this is a good step to start with, right? It makes content posting very consistent for you. I'm not going to say that this is actually a great first step for quality content. Quality content will require a certain amount of research according to what works on each one of these platforms and what actually works for you and your company. So I would highly recommend you add examples, some context, maybe some documents that help the AI step better suit or better personalize the content for you. And if possible, also adding a step where you can essentially approve or disapprove certain pieces of content, because there might be content that might not be good enough for you to post. And that's something to consider. Now, some people say something is better than nothing, but that's up to you. So what else can you do? You can also, all in regard to add multiple other platforms, you can actually maybe add Medium or Substack or anything like that. And it starts to generate content for other places as well, where rating content is suitable. So that's the AI social media content generator. In order to import it and use it, you go to import from file in an empty N8N workflow, and you just basically import the file that's downloaded from the site.